Okay. And one more thing, June 6th will be your PT1. Is that clear, boys? The portions I will discuss later. Just have it in your mind. June 6th will be your PT1. So that writing habit has moved out from you people. Like most, let us see whether you can come to school and write the examination. Let us see how things work out. But June 6th is your PT1 examination. Surely the first two chapters will be there, right? And the final portions we will discuss and we will let you know. Is it visible? Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Steve, are you here? Steve? Steve? Steve there? One second, boss.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, boys, I'm not in school because of this vaccination. So tomorrow I'll be there. Sorry.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Did we start with this? What happens when a dielectric, that is a non-polar molecule placed in an electric field? Did we do this, boys?
The last thing you showed us was a video of somebody putting a bag of water between two parallel plates.
Fine, thank you. Should know what is a polar molecule, right? A polar molecule is one, like your water molecule, right? Hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Your hydrogen will have a slight amount of positive charge. Your oxygen will have a slight amount of negative charge. Why? Because the shared pair of electrons will not be equidistant from either hydrogen atom or oxygen atom. The shared pair of electrons will be slightly moving towards your oxygen. So oxygen gets a slight amount of negative charge, hydrogen gets a slight amount of positive charge. So a dipole is created. Clear, boys? So a dipole is created. That's the reason we say that water molecule is an electric dipole. Now, what happens? There are non-polar molecules. So basically, a dielectric is an insulating medium. Now, what is the importance of a dielectric? The dielectric will increase the capacitance of a capacitor. If you place a dielectric medium between two metal plates, charged metal plates, then the storage ability of the capacitor will increase. So your dielectric are classified into polar molecule and non-polar molecule. So polar molecules will have permanent dipole moment. It has a permanent, because all the molecules act like an electric dipole. It has a permanent. Yes, what?
Ma'am, are you presenting something?
Yes. You can't see? Not, is it not visible, boys? Is it visible?
Now it's
Yes, ma'am. Now it came.
Sorry, boys. So a polar molecule, all polar molecules are and act like an electric dipole. They have a permanent dipole moment. But non-polar molecules, for example, oxygen atom, for example, hydrogen atom, now the shared pair of electrons will be equidistant from both your hydrogen atom, which means both the atoms have the same electronegativity. So there is no electric dipoles formed. Non-polar molecules are not electric dipoles. There is no electric dipole moment. The electric dipole moment is zero. Look at this. In these molecules, the atom have the same electronegativity. The shared pair of electrons will be equidistant from each other, so that there are no electric dipoles formed. Hence, the dipole moment is zero. So keep this in mind. Your dielectric is an insulating medium. Your dielectric will increase the capacitance of the capacitor. That is why you want to study about dielectrics. There are two types of dielectrics: material made up of polar molecules, material made up of non-polar molecules, right? Now the question is, what happens when a dielectric that is made up of non-polar molecule is placed in an electric field? Electric field, how can you create an electric field? Suppose if I have two metal plates, right? Now one metal plate, I'm connecting it to the positive terminal of your power supply. Another metal plate is connected to the negative terminal of your power supply. So the space between the charged metal plates, exists your electric field. So there will be an electric field between the charged metal plates. Now the question is, if I place a non-dielectric, if I place a dielectric material made up of non-polar molecules in an electric field, now what is going to happen? Now look at this diagram, the first diagram. In the first diagram, this is a specimen of a non-polar molecule, a dielectric, which is made up of non-polar molecules. Now you can see all these molecules are not a dipole. There is no space between positive and negative charge. Boys, this is a dielectric, right? The first diagram is a sample of a dielectric made up of non-polar molecules in the absence of electric field. Can you see this? In the absence of electric field, now what happens, each and every molecule, the positive and negative charges are not spaced. They are overlapping. The center of positive charge and the center of negative charge. This is how your textbook deals it with. The center of the positive charge and the center of the negative charge are going to overlap with each other, coincide with each other. So there are no dipoles formed, and hence the dipole moment is 0. Right? This is in case of when the dielectric material is placed in the absence of your electric field. Now, what happens when the same material is placed in the presence of an electric field? Your electric field placed in the presence of your electric field means what? If it is placed between two metal plates, it is placed between two metal plates. One is positive, the other one is negative. So it's placed between two metal plates. It's placed in an electric field. The electric field will apply a force on each and every dipoles and try to pull the dipole so that there happens to be some spacing between the positive and the negative charge, which means you are inducing a dipole moment. Look at this. The non-polar molecule thus develops an induced dipole moment. Do you understand, boys? So in an external electric field, the positive and the negative charges of non-polar molecules are displaced in opposite direction. Only when there is a space between positive and negative charge, dipoles are created. So the displacement stops when the external force on the constituent charges of the molecules is balanced by the restoring force. So the non-polar molecules thus develop an induced dipole moment. So you are inducing dipoles, right, in the presence of an electric field. Why? Because the electric field is going to remove your electric field, again comes back to its original position because of the restoring force, and dipoles will vanish. 12B, it's only me talking. Is that clear for you all? 12B, it's only one-sided. I'm just lecturing. What happens? Are you able to understand? 12 standard.
Clear.
Now let us see what happens when a polar molecule, a dielectric made up of polar molecule, is placed in an electric field. I'm going for the first diagram, boys. In the absence of your electric field, right? Look at the polar. In the absence of your electric field, now this is a dielectric which has a polar molecule. A dielectric made up of polar molecules. We know each and every molecule will act like a dipole. Each and every molecules, even in the absence of the electric field, like water molecule. If you take a specimen of water, each and every water molecule will act as a dipole. But look at the dipole. The dipoles are oriented in different direction. The direction of the dipole is always from negative to positive, dipole moment. So look at the direction of P vector. Can you see that, boys? The direction always negative to positive. So the dipoles are oriented in different direction so that the total dipole moment is 0. In the absence of any external field, the different permanent dipoles are oriented randomly due to thermal agitation so that the net dipole moment is 0. Is that clear? 12B? Hitesh, Jatin, Johan, Jonathan. Is that
Yes,
clear, boys? Okay. Now let us
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
Okay, boys. Now let us see what happens when you're placing the dipole. When you're placing the dipole in an electric field. When you place the dipole in an electric field, now what is going to happen? Your electric field will apply a force. Your electric field is going to apply a force, and then it pulls the dipole in such a way all your dipoles will be aligned along its direction. Now, this is the direction of your electric field. That will be the direction of the electric field. Now, what happens? The negative charge of all the dipoles. Can you see the negative charge of all your dipoles? The negative charge of all your dipoles are going to align near the positive plate. All the positive charges will be almost aligning near the negative plate. So this is how it is going to align. So if I can draw the P vector, look at the P vector. How is your P vector? How will you draw the P vector? Negative to positive P vector. So that's a dipole moment. Or everywhere it will be along the same direction. So there will be a net. There will be a net dipole moment. Is that clear, boys? So all your dipoles will be aligned along the direction of the electric field. Do you understand the statement? This is the direction of P vector. All your dipoles will be aligned along the direction of the electric field. Then a net dipole moment is induced, will be in the direction of the external electric field. These two things, what happened? Yes, what happened?
How is the dipole moment zero in the absence of electric field? Can you repeat
Here,
it?
okay, here, okay, here. Can I just go for this? This is P vector, right? This is also P vector. Okay, so look at this P vector. There might be a P vector like this. So according to the diagram, so if one is aligned in the negative axis, the other will be aligned in the positive axis. So that can happen. Here they have shown, right? Suppose one is acting, your dipole moment is say 2 coulomb meter, right? Say this is positive 2 coulomb meter. There might be, I'm just putting it, minus 2 coulomb meter. So one will get cancelled with the other. It's like that. One will orient in, say, positive x-axis, the other one will orient in the negative x-axis. So net dipole moment will always be zero. It's like that. In the absence of the electric field, they get oriented in different direction. What does the electric field do? The electric field will apply a force and makes them to orient along the same direction. So I'm not making you people to write. I will put this presentation in your physics file section, boys. Is that clear? Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Now comes certain things which you have to learn. Now, what is polarization? You know what is polarization? The moment you place, suppose a non-polar molecule in an electric field, the non-polar molecules gets polarized. Polarized means there will be a separation between positive and negative charges. So that is what we call it as, see, whether a polar or a non-polar molecule, electric dipole develops a net dipole moment in the presence of an electric field. The dipole moment per unit volume is called polarization. Are you clear? Whether it is a polar molecule or whether it is a non-polar molecule. Now what happens? The moment you place it in an electric field, there will be always a net dipole moment. And this net dipole moment per unit volume is called polarization. Now comes next what we call it as electrical susceptibility. Now can someone explain me, not in terms of physics, what do you mean by susceptibility? Susceptible. Yes.
Ma'am, this polarization is just basically, ma'am, the dipole moment per unit volume.
Correct. Correct. That happens only in the presence of an external electric field. External electric. It should be an external electric field. Yes.
Susceptibility means like a tendency.
Yes, it's a tendency, right? So see, what happens is that different material have different susceptibility, right? That like your your bodies are immunized, right? Some bodies are weak, so they have weak immunities. Same way like
So
that.
like you mean
Yes.
like susceptibility basically means how much it can get
To what
influenced,
extent?
right?
Yes.
Like
To what extent? See, if this is a polar dielectric. No? This is a polar dielectric. So polar dielectric, you can have water molecule, you can have ammonia. No, all these are polar molecules. See, the moment you place these polar molecules in an electric field, all the dipoles will be aligned along the direction of the electric field. Not necessarily all the electric dipoles. Water can behave differently, ammonia can behave differently. To what extent your water molecule or ammonia molecules, to what extent these molecules are going to get aligned along the direction of the electric field, that measures its susceptibility. Oh, right? How susceptible these materials are towards the electric field, because electric field is applying a force. That force only aligns these electric dipole to align along the direction of the field. So, right? So that this is how not all dielectrics, not all polar dielectrics will behave the same way in an electric field. Some will perfectly behave, some might resist. So to what extent they are susceptible to the electric field, that is what we call it as electrical susceptibility. And we denote it with this letter, we call it as chi. Anyway, I don't know how to write this. We spell is chi, right? So we'll go for next one. Okay. Now this is important. What happens when a conductor is placed in an electric field? This is a concept of electrostatic shielding. I want someone to do this topic of electrostatic shielding, so I'm not explaining. Let it come from you people. Sorry.
Now you have to do like a class on it?
Yeah, someone, because I don't want to assign a work each time. I need not assign a work to some students. Can someone come up and take just 2 slides enough?
Ma'am, I can do it.
Okay, who is that?
Ma'am, me. Nabil. Nabil.
Nabil, always you are doing, right?
No, ma'am, I haven't done a class. No.
Okay. Last year you haven't done. Okay, fine. What you can do is that just go for electrostatic shielding. 3 slides are more than enough, Nabil. 3 slides.
All right.
Okay, just so I'm not touching that aspect of electrostatic shielding. You will be doing. Right? So look at this. Oh, thank you. What happens when a conductor is placed in an electric field? It's like this. Suppose if I have 2 metal plates, right, boss? You have positive and negative. Now, if I place say a metal sheet, right, between the plates of the charged metal plates, that is an electric field. Now, what happens is that conductors, how do you generally term a conductor? How can you term a conductor? Yusuf, Vishesh, Zuhair, Surya, Steve, Siddharth, anyone can answer. What is a conductor generally? Free electrons?
Which can carry current easily.
Yeah, which can carry current easily. Then
Which allows current to flow through it.
Okay.
a conductor is something that allows the flow of electrons through it.
Fine, that is fine. Okay, they have free charges, right? That the valence electron can easily move. Now, what happens when a conductor is placed in an
yes.
Okay. Now let us see what happens when a conductor is placed in an electric field. Now all the electrons will move towards the positive plate. This is a positive. All the electrons will accumulate near the positive plate so that you will have a positive charge created near the negative plate. This is how your conductor, inside the conductor, the charges are polarized. Polarized means what? Negative will move to one side, positive charges will move to the other side. So when I'm placing a conductor inside an electric field, now what is going to happen is that there will be polarization of charges. All your negative charges will accumulate at one end. All the positive charges will accumulate at the other end, right? So now, because of that, an electric field is created. Now, the direction of the electric field inside is this. Can you see the highlighted yellow arrow? That is the direction of the induced electric field, because you are inducing an electric field, right? How do you induce an electric field inside a conductor? By placing a conductor in an electric field. The moment you place a conductor in an electric field, your electric field will apply a force, polarizes the conductor, so that all the negative charges will be at one edge of the conductor, all the negative charges on the other side. So there is polarization of charges. Immediately inside the conductor, there will be an electric field created. Can you see the direction of the electric field? That is highlighted by yellow. Right? Now, what is the electric field outside? Outside is this. External electric field I'm indicating by the red arrow. Internal electric field I'm indicating by yellow. Right? Now, the question is, how long will these charges get polarized? The answer is that these charges gets polarized until and unless the internal electric field created and the external electric field applied both becomes equal in magnitude. Is that clear, boys? The free charge carriers moves and charge distribution in the conductor adjusts itself in such a way the electric field due to the induced charges opposes the electric field within the conductor. This happens till the two fields cancels each other and the net electrostatic field inside the conductor is zero. Was inside the conductor, the net electric field will be zero. Because can you see these two electric field, boys? Can you see the electric field? This is induced electric field. The field which is induced inside the conductor because of the applied external electric field. So the yellow one represents the external electric field. Both becomes equal but opposite in direction. So the net electric field will be zero. This is very, very important concept. So the moment you place a conductor inside an electric field, there will be polarization of charges and induced field will be created. Both the fields will be opposite to each other. Now, what happens in a dielectric? When dielectric is placed, you can see, boys, all the negative charges will accumulate near the positive terminal, right? Near the positive terminal of your charge plate, external field, all the positive charges near the negative. So you have an electric field inside. There will be an electric field created. So that electric field will be induced electric field. Okay. What happens to the external field? The external field is this outside. Right? It will be acting towards positive x-axis. Induced electric field will be acting towards negative x-axis. Right? And at any point, both will not become equal to zero. There is some amount of electric field created because induced electric field will not be greater than or equal to the external electric field. So the total electric field inside your dielectric will not be zero. There will be some amount of electric field. It gets reduced. The field inside gets reduced. Boys, please understand. I don't know how far you can get it. Yes?
Ma'am,
What are you
will the polarization stop after the fields cancel out?
it is not that. The polarization depends upon how far this molecule can be stretched or how far the molecules can be aligned along the direction of the electric field. The electric field cannot be more than that. It will break the molecules. There is a limit. Now, boys, to understand this, let us go for this. Wait 1 second. I think today's class is full of, 1 second, boys. Suppose if I have air as a medium, right? Now look at the space. Let me go for the space. Okay, fine. you have an electric field inside, boys. I'm just considering a parallel metal plates, right? I consider two parallel metal plates, charged metal plates. Naturally, you have an electric field in the space between the two metal plates. Say this electric field E is equal to, say, 5 newtons per coulomb, right? Now, what is going to happen when I'm placing a dielectric material inside, right? Here. Or if I can completely fill the space also, not a problem. If I completely fill the space inside, if I can completely fill the space inside between the two charged metal plates by a dielectric material, now the space between, there will be an electric field created within the space, right? Here, your electric field E becomes equal to, say, 1 newtons per coulomb. That is the fact you are going to understand. I have two metal plates, charged metal plates. There is an electric field between the two charged metal plates. When air is the medium, look at the strength of the electric field, 5 newtons per coulomb. When I'm placing a dielectric medium instead of air, now look at the strength of the electric field. Sorry, the electric field will get reduced by E becomes equal to 1. The electric field gets reduced. This is the concept you should understand, boys. Your electric field get reduced. Later on, we'll see how capacitance is going to increase. I think full of theory only. Just few minutes. Write this, boys. This is an important terminology. What we call it as dielectric constant, right? See, what is dielectric constant? Boys, are you there? 12B, are you there? Derek, Dheeraj, Fadil, are you able to understand? Because today's session is only me talking. It's not, I have not made you to write or something because it's almost theory. Now, let us see what you mean by dielectric constant. 1 second, boys. Suppose if I have two charged metal plates, right? Now, let me have air as the medium. Now, your electric field, air should allow the electric field lines to pass through it, boys. Do you understand? Your air should allow the electric field lines to pass through it. Only then there will be an electric field between the two metal plates. So air is allowing some amount of electric field to pass through it. And that is what we call it as epsilon naught. So what is epsilon naught? It is the permittivity of your air. How much amount of electric field does your air is allowing to pass? Right? Field lines, because electric fields are represented by electric field lines. So to what extent the medium air is allowing the electric field lines to pass through it, we call it as electrical permittivity of the medium. Suppose instead of air, if I place a dielectric medium, let me place a dielectric slab inside between the plates. Instead of air, I'm putting a dielectric medium. So this dielectric medium will allow few amount of field lines to pass through it. Might be more than that or more than air or might be less than air. The amount of field lines, the medium is making the, so the medium is allowing, the dielectric medium is allowing to pass through it. We call it as the permittivity of the medium. Each medium will allow different amount of, right? It's like resistance. Conductors offers less resistance. Insulators offers more resistance. Same way, some materials will not allow field lines to pass through it. Some medium will allow more field lines to pass through it. So the amount of electric field lines which can be passed through any material, we call it as the permittivity of the medium. Is that clear? Let me finish by this. Are you clear, boys? Maheshwar, Kritya, Taisir, Danish.
I'm so different.
Yes. Okay. So look at this epsilon naught. What is epsilon? Epsilon is the permittivity of the medium, whether the particular medium is allowing the field lines or not. Right? That is called the permittivity of the medium. What is epsilon naught? It is a permittivity of free space or air. And what is the ratio? This ratio is what we call it as dielectric constant. This ratio, we call it as the dielectric constant. Right, boys? I think so. It's almost the time. Just finish this off. Dielectric constant. So tomorrow we'll finish up the theory. Okay. Right, boys? Dielectric constant. Dielectric constant is the ratio between the permittivity of the medium. Dielectric constant is the ratio between the permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of free space. Free space means it can be all vacuum, it can be almost taken to be as air. Air has the value 1. So look at this. The character of a dielectric material is determined by its dielectric constant. Like what you have, resistivity. Resistivity of a medium, right? Copper has less resistivity compared to insulators, alloys, all those things. So that resistivity, same way like dielectric constant.
Ma'am, can you repeat what permittivity is?
Permittivity is nothing but the extent to which a medium can allow the field lines to pass through it, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So the extent to which a medium allows field lines to pass through it. Field lines means field. Field lines to pass through it. Boys, I will upload a recorded class, right? Just check the recorded class. Numericals, additional numericals, I'll put it over there, boys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, boys. You can leave. Those who have completed can leave.
Ma'am, so we only need to write this part, right? The dielectric constant.
Yeah, I will upload this by tomorrow because I need some slides to be done. So tomorrow I'll upload this entire PPT. If you want how dielectrics are going to behave in electric field, all those things, the theory part, if you want to write, you can check and write. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You can leave.